That song was called Camina Burana, written by Carl Orff in 1936. It's based on 24 poems from the 13th century in medieval time. The text, when performed with a chorus, is written in Latin. The specific section, or what it's called, is O Fortuna. It translates to a complaint about fate and fortune, the personification of luck in Roman mythology. A little education about that is, back in the day, they used to take a lot of music and write it to text, and they translate it into different languages. German, you hear a lot of Italian. This one you hear in Latin. There's a lot of that where they combine choruses and bands or chords and orchestras to produce this sound. And I'm sure you've heard that before in movies. And it's supposed to, like it says, depict kind of evil things or bad things or things that people are wanting more from. And you can kind of hear that in the context of the song. So we chose that to start off. It's a little angry. It's called O Fortuna. Next time you hear it, you can say, hey, I know that song, O Fortuna, or Camina Burana. It's a complimentary of, or a group of songs set to text. So a little education on that. Okay, I can tell by your lack of applause that you didn't like the education part, so we'll skip that. Thank you very much. This next song you're going to love, and I have a challenge for you. If you're a music listener, which all of us are, hopefully you can check out how many songs are in this song. There's a whole bunch of songs in this song. See if you can count up in your head. I'll tell you the number at the end. That's all I'm going to say, just a number, and that's it. I'm not going to talk. get? You guessed 30, you were right. Nice job. Nice job. Good listening. Nice job. On a serious note, our next song. We've been fortunate at Leominster High School the last couple of weeks to have a graduate from Leominster High School. She was a CT kid. She was. Now she's a young person. And she's chosen the career of music education. She's been subbing in my room the last 3-4 weeks. Has been an asset to us. Has come to the practices, and she wanted to conduct a song as part of her development. So this would be the first public conducting performance for Miss Ashley Keogh. So please help me welcome her to the stage.
Etched on a granite wall below a grave at Arlington National Cemetery, one can read the following words.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. My fellow citizens of the world, ask not what America can do for you, but what together we can do for the freedom of man.
John Fitzgerald Kennedy was born in Brookline, Massachusetts on May 29, 1917. Jack, as he was often called, was the first child of Joseph and Rose Kennedy, and together his parents raised 9 children. He attended Harvard University, where he graduated with honors. In World War II, he served in the Navy and commanded PT-109. When the ship was sunk, he risked his life to save his crew. Serving his country helped to shape his thoughts on the future of America's right to defend its freedom.
Let every nation know, whether it wishes us well or ill, that we shall pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe to assure the survival and the success of liberty. Let the word go forth from this time and place to friend and foe alike that the torch has been passed on to a new generation of Americans.
JFK was the youngest man to be elected to the office of president. He was the first Boy Scout, the first Roman Catholic, and the first president to serve in the Navy and to have earned a Purple Heart. The main challenges of his term in office were conflicts with Cuba, Russia, Vietnam, the Mafia, and concerns regarding civil rights. Here are the words of the newly elected President Kennedy as he prepared to face the uncertainty of what would surely become his lasting legacy.
In the long history of the world, only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom. In its hour of maximum danger, I do not shrink from this responsibility. I welcome it.
President Kennedy was an ardent supporter of the civil rights movement. He, along with noted activist Martin Luther King Jr., worked long and hard to help bring about positive change. On June 11, 1963, he addressed the nation and proclaimed the following thoughts.
This nation was founded by men of many nations and backgrounds. It was founded on the principle that all men are created equal, that the rights of every man are diminished when the rights of one man are threatened. I am therefore asking the Congress to enact
1963, President Kennedy turned his attention to his re-election campaign and decided a trip to visit the South was long overdue. With First Lady Jacqueline by his side, he embarked on a 2-day trip that would take him through 5 major cities in the heartland of Texas. On the morning of November 22nd, 1963, a motorcade of political dignitaries traveled along a 10-mile route that wound through downtown Dallas. Since the early rain had stopped, the plastic bubble on top of the presidential limousine was removed. Overflow crowds of excited people lined the streets and waved frantically to the Kennedys. At approximately 12:30 p.m., the car turned off Main Street. As it was passing the Texas Schoolbook Depository, gunfire suddenly rang out in the plaza. Let us reflect on the events of that day and remember that life, as we knew it, was about to be changed. Shots fired struck the president, causing him to slump over towards Mrs. Kennedy. The limousine sped off to Parkland Memorial Hospital, located just a few minutes away. However, the doctors could do little to save him. A Catholic priest was summoned to administer last rites, and at 1 p.m., John F. Kennedy, the 35th President of the United States, was pronounced dead. For 4 days, the world stood still while people from all walks of life mourned the loss of their beloved JFK. On November 25th, he was laid to rest. As people struggled to make sense of his census act or to articulate their feelings about his life and legacy, many recalled these words from his inaugural address.
With a good conscience, our only sure reward, with history the final judge of our deeds, let us go forth to lead the land we love, asking for His help and His blessing, but knowing that here on earth, God's work must truly be our own.
Thank you very much. Now you can kind of see the educational thing that I was talking about. You like that? See, now you like it. See how you like it. This is going to be our last piece of the evening. We'd like to thank you for coming to help us celebrate music. Whenever we can hear live music, to appreciate it, to understand it, to keep it going is great. So this last piece that we're going to have is a typical march. It's called Crown Imperial. It's by William Walton. It's a great piece. It's a great way to end the concert for tonight. We'd like to thank you for being here with us to celebrate, and please spread the word that we have good things here happening at Leominster High School. If you like what you saw and you would like to help out in any way, you can always write a letter, a little email, something to the principal or to the superintendent. Hey, went to a concert last night. It was fabulous. Not that I'm telling you what to do or anything, but wouldn't hurt.
Thank you.
very much for coming. Thank you. Appreciate you spending your time with us, your evening with us. Have a great night. God bless. Thank you very much.